Welcome to the 11th episode of the Illegal Use of Hands to the Face Football Podcast. Jake, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Hayden. The tampering period has just started, and we're going to be talking about our first official mock draft.
Yeah, first official. Like, really serious. Like, definitely 100% accurate. Gonna get every pick right, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Watched intensive film on every single guy.
until one team signs one free agent and then it changes everything. And then you
hmm
can't blame us for being wrong because we didn't know,
Yeah, that
right?
that's who they were going to pick, but then they decided to sign a guy out of free agency that they didn't need because they were going to draft this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got the coin ready, but would you like me to explain our little method here?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and explain it real quick?
Okay, so since it's a co-hosted podcast, we decided that each of us would do half the picks. We're just gonna flip a coin here to figure out who gets the first pick, and would you like me to call it?
Yeah, call it.
Tails.
All right, flipping the coin, flipping. It's heads.
Oh, you get the first pick then.
Whew.
Do
All
do you
right.
know where you're going?
I think I know where I'm going here. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to make a pretty easy decision. They're going to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll be doing. I mean, the first overall pick hasn't been a surprise in a while. But actually, to be honest with you, uh, Trevor is after finally watching some film on him, he's third. He's third on my list of QBs, and I've went through 5 quarterbacks.
All right. Yeah, I know that you're not as high on him as other people are. I'm not really either. He's very, out of all of them, he's the most mechanically sound, I would have to say. You know exactly what you're getting looking at college film with him, and he has a very high floor. I don't know if it's as safe as a pick as everyone else's all everyone else in the media saying like he's going to be the next Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning. I don't know if it's going to be that safe of a pick, but I do think the Jags will go in that direction.
Yeah, I'm interested now. Now I've got my Jets pick, so I'm
hmm
just looking at what they got on roster and trying to figure out where I want to go. I don't think I like. I'm looking at position needs, considered quarterback, but I don't. I really don't know if I want to say that they're gonna go quarterback or not. Um, you know, I'm actually guessing that new coach and new coach is not gonna be looking at what Sam Darnold has done so far, and be saying too much about how well he has played. So I'm
hmm
guessing they probably will go quarterback here because of that.
hmm
Now it's just coming down to who I think they're going to select at the quarterback position. And me, a lot of people are mocking Zach Wilson here, but I don't think that I like that, and I think instead I'm going to guess that they'll go with Justin Fields here.
Yeah, I agree. In my mock draft that I made, that's where I have Justin Fields going. He provides a team that he goes to with a lot more than I think what Zach Wilson can. He's more athletic. In my opinion, he has a stronger arm.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
yeah.
I'll say a few things about him so you can get ready for your Dolphins pick here.
hmm
I think he's his. I was really impressed with his velocity on the ball. I was surprised at the. I didn't think he had the best velocity on the ball, but I thought he had more than I was expecting him to have. I don't know why. Just kind of looking at him play style wise, I kind of think of Kyler Murray initially, but before I knew anything about him. But then I actually watched him play, and he's pretty. He's he's fairly different from Murray. He's got some of the same traits, but he's still fairly different. Um, he's probably, to be honest, he's probably the fastest of all these top 5 quarterbacks, but none of them are
Yeah.
like insanely fast. So he's not even running that fast. At least in my opinion, like Kyler Murray was the example. Like I don't think he's close to his speed at all, but I think he's still got a cannon of an arm, and um, Also, playmaker while staying mechanically sound. Like once he moves around, I liked it. But you did say Trevor Lawrence is the most mechanical guy of them all, and I
Yes.
agree with that. But Fields, I'm comparing to Zach Wilson, whereas the thing with Zach Wilson, who is the guy I'm very questioning. I'll just tell you
D-
now. Like
same here.
Zach
Same
Wilson
here.
is the guy that I'm like
Yes.
very questionable quarterback prospect. Yeah, Fields is a lot better moving around throwing. He actually gets his feet set and can go down the field.
Yeah. I'm very glad that you saw what I also saw in Zach Wilson because
That is a mess. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I will talk about him when we eventually decide that somebody's going to be taking him.
All right. At three, I think this is if the Dolphins decide to not go quarterback here, which I could see them doing. I don't know if it's the smartest move to do to just give up on your quarterback after 1 year. Uh, when you could surround him with weapons, which I think is what the Dolphins are going to do. Uh,
Okay.
and they're going to bring in a guy that's familiar with Tua in Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner.
Okay. Okay. I when I was looking at the top three top three receivers, I was kind of like, I they really feel like all fairly similar. Like not
Hmm.
too much of a gap between any of them. Just like last year with Ruggs, Lamb, and then Judy. It felt like they were all three of them were uh, kind of just like at the same level at the time at least, and that's how I feel again.
Hmm.
I guess after the rookie year, we would be saying that Lamb is first, Ruggs is second, and Judy is third, right? But at the time of the draft, it feels pretty similar. So that's kind of how I feel about all of them. So if you're going with Devonte Smith, that makes sense to me. And actually, even though I said they're all fairly similar, I did have him ranked the highest out of all my guys. So at
Yeah.
the receiver position, at the receiver
I
position.
I didn't have him ranked the highest. I have Jamar Chase ahead of him, but I thought the same thing for you. The top three guys are all like right there, same as last year. The main thing that's going to play out with him getting picked by the Dolphins is familiarity with Tua, and I don't know how well that statement that he made of Mac Jones is the best quarterback he's ever played with is going to go over well, but Miami needs to get weapons around Tua if they want to not completely destroy his confidence and make him a franchise quarterback. You need to get him some weapons, and why not do that with a guy that he lit up the college world with uh when he was at Bama and
With
not
yeah, okay, okay.
yeah,
Sorry,
and get him in
sorry.
and get him in an NFL weight room too because that dude is built like me and that's really nothing to be
It's
proud of.
hilarious though. It's like what? It's like how are you doing this at that build? I mean, he's got a little more muscle than people give him credit for. It makes him look bad on a football field, but I mean, for a football field, yes, he doesn't look too good. Oh man, it's so weird though. Now we're sitting here at this Falcons pick and number 4. It just seems like he shouldn't he shouldn't fall this far. And honestly, the Falcons don't really have any other positions that I'm really liking at this spot to select this high. Maybe some people like a corner this high, but I'm kind of scared to go corner here because I actually feel like I saw a lot of good corners, so maybe that could mean somebody could sneak into the second round as long as the Falcons didn't trade their second round pick, but I don't think they did, as far as I know. So maybe a corner could sneak into the second round for them. Um, if you consider Matt Ryan getting out of here or getting out of town, maybe, and then once again an edge player, I don't really like an edge player this high either. So I think realistically they have to go offensive tackle, and I guess you got to be happy because this is obviously the guy that everybody is saying is the best tackle in Penei Sewell. So I think that's where I'll go with the Falcons at 4.
Hmm. Uh, I had him going to the Bengals with the next pick, but yeah, Penei Sewell is the best offensive line prospect out of all of them. The dude's a mauler. He goes out there and just kills people. Uh,
Yeah.
with when I looked at the Falcons, I they have they drafted bookend tackles like a year or two ago, so that's why I wasn't thinking that, but I could see it happening, especially with how
I'm
Mal
just looking at the names for tackles
yeah.
here, and I'm seeing Matt Gono, Jake Matthews, and Caleb McGarry. And I'm not. I don't know if they're gonna sign somebody, but I'm just not liking. I'm not too overwhelmed by any of those names to not think that
Mhm.
Panay Sewell could take their jobs.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I could see that, and especially with how, like I said, malleable they're trying to get offensive linemen to be in the NFL to go and move a position, move inside if you've been playing tackle. I could definitely see it happening, and if they think that they're protecting Matt Ryan away from going to the playoffs, then definitely go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any clue where did you, just out of curiosity, we probably can't do this once we get in deeper into the draft, but who did you have the Falcons selecting if they weren't going to pick Sewell?
My favorite, see, you and I had two different visions with what the Falcons should do. You think they should keep building with the squad they have. I think they should just blow it up and rebuild. So that's why at 4 I had them selecting my favorite quarterback prospect in Trey Lance.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't see them moving on from Matt Ryan. He's not you got some teams where you got a real old guy at quarterback, and he's not a
Mhm.
real old guy yet. So
Oh, no,
just keeping
I
him out of
agree.
that real old guy range is the only reason that I don't have him selecting a quarterback.
I agree. I was thinking not get rid of him but have him mentor him for a couple years because Trey Lance is really raw.
Oh well, that may work too. That would probably tick Matt Ryan off though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, no,
Uh,
that would work. I can see it, but
yeah, but quarterback movement's just great for the league. So
what positions are you thinking for the Bengals? Are you got any clue here?
Um, yes, because in when I was going through and looking at everything, I did consider if Panay Sewell went at 4, and if he went at 4, I think that the Bengals should do something that the Dolphins did at 3, and that's just get a receiver that's familiar with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase,
Alrighty, huh?
and they just keep building. You're gonna be losing AJ Green. Bring in another weapon. AJ Green and John Ross, so they're going to be losing two receivers. So just replace them. Bring in a guy that's familiar with Joe Burrow, familiar with the system. He's got two young targets now in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, along with uh wow, I'm blanking on all the receivers, but I know that they have a ton of talent. Tyler Boyd, uh,
Not John Ross.
not John Ross, uh, the one guy that you really
Auden Tate.
loved, Auden Tate.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no, I'll just say something quick about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was really interesting to me because I was really, it was weird. It's like he's not crazy fast, but he usually gets pretty good separation. And then even if he
mhm.
doesn't get good separation, he's really good in getting the jump ball. So I was kind of surprised by his play style. It was really Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and him all kind of have like fairly different things. I guess Devontae and Chase are probably closer to each other. Waddle's further away from them, at least in terms of
Mhm.
how they play. But yeah, Chase felt like the best like jump ball guy, whereas Smith
Yes.
felt like he was just doing everything at a fairly high level, and then Waddle was absolutely excelling with his speed.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. Every single clip that you see, like every YouTube video that has Jamar Chase highlights, he's just mossing everyone.
Yeah. Huh. I think I got the Eagles now, and I don't. I gotta scroll through my whole list to remember who these guys are that are available. But I'm guessing that if two wide receivers go in front of the Eagles, that's gonna be pretty hard for them not to go with Jalen Waddle here.
Hmm.
I'm not picking him yet, but I mean, I think that's gonna be a pretty hard bargain to do. Um, I mean, they're gonna need somebody to help out uh, Jalen Hurts, just since he's not like he doesn't have a ton of experience in the NFL, obviously. So I think they would want to give him a decent amount of help. But they could go linebacker here as well. I don't really love any of the edge players as much to pick them this high. So I don't know. I guess I'd probably yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go with Jalen Waddle to the Eagles right here.
All right. Yeah, Waddle's a burner. The Eagles need someone for Jalen Hurts to throw to. I don't know how much longer they could get by thinking that their quarterback can throw touchdown passes and win games with Greg Ward out there and all the other guys that used to play quarterback in college.
Yes. Oh man, that's a treat. But I'm just scared about it because with Jalen Waddle, you got a guy that's a speed guy, and even though I've liked Ruggs and I've liked other like recent year guys who have been the speed guys to come into the draft, it doesn't seem like any of them have really become great number one options in recent years. And that's really scaring me with Jalen Waddle, even though it shouldn't be, because I really like his playmaking ability. But yeah, I'm just worried about the fact that it's like another pure speed guy, kind of getting onto the field and not necessarily doing well. That's the scenario I'm worried about.
Especially with the injury that he had this our last college season.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
you got to be a little trepidatious about that. But in the national championship game when he played, he didn't play the whole game. Not that he really need to. Bama blew him out, but he he still had that speed. It's just you could see that he was still a little tender on that ankle because I think he rushed himself back because he wanted to play in the national championship game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's fairly reasonable to want to play
Oh
in the
yeah,
national
yes,
championship game.
yes.
Uh, so
Uh,
the Lions.
yes. The guy that I had mocked to the Lions is still on the board, so I'm just gonna
No.
flat out say it.
No.
Micah,
Oh,
what?
okay. Okay.
M- M-
I'm
Micah,
sorry.
Micah Parsons.
I thought you were gonna send Zach Wilson there, and I was
No,
gonna
no, no,
say
no, no, no,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no,
say
no, no, no,
don't
no,
do
no,
that to Detroit.
no. Micah Parsons is a Dan Campbell guy.
I agree with
He
that.
was that the guy before we started recording that you're going, whoa,
No,
whoa,
no, it wasn't.
oh,
No, it
oh.
wasn't.
Well, that's what I was doing when I was watching Micah Parsons highlights. That dude is a hard hat working blue collar football player, and that's exactly what the Motor City needs, especially with a guy like Dan Campbell. That is a college player that's not afraid to eat some kneecaps. So I'm excited to see what he does in Detroit, or I'm excited to see if Detroit takes him because I think he'd be a perfect fit there.
Yeah. No, I like that one. He feels a lot like Luke Kuechly to me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the vibe I got from him. I don't I don't really know. I gotta be honest. The linebackers were the last position I was watching, and it was like okay, I've been looking at these guys for like 4 hours. This is hard to keep paying close attention, but it felt like Kuechly to me.
Yeah, he has great instincts to go and get the ball. The angles that he was taking in the open field to go and tackle guys were great, especially as Bills fans watching AJ Klein and a bunch of terrible angles that he was taking all season. To see a guy that young just be able to go right to the ball and get it was fantastic to see.
Yeah. Oh boy. Jeez, man. Every list I look at has different guys all over the place. It's got to be because of the fact that there's no what's it called this year?
Combine?
No, like there were so many less games this year just right. I
Oh
mean
yeah.
in general there were less games, right? I mean,
Hmm.
lots of guys played less games. I mean, this
Well,
I
there were
looked
guys that didn't even play games like Panay Sewell.
yeah, I mean, I looked at I'm only saying that now because like I'm looking at cornerbacks right now potentially for Carolina now, and I'm just seeing I'm seeing names on this list. I swear I watched the guys in one grouping that had listed its quote unquote top 80 players. So I watched any cornerbacks that were listed within the top 80 for them. And this guy Greg Newsome the second is number 38 on this site I'm looking at, but he wasn't even in the top 80 for the other site I was looking at. So hopefully I didn't miss out on him. Like he could sneak into the back half of the first round because I don't know, but I don't know. The two positions I'm looking at right now, kind of for for the Panthers here, are corner and quarterback. I would kind of say safety, but I actually think there's a lot of good safeties from what I saw. But I have a man crush on the safety position, so that may just be me making a bad interpretation. Going with the logic that we had of the Panthers wanting to get rid of Teddy Bridgewater in favor of a quarterback that would be faster. I don't know if Zach Wilson would be considered fast enough for Matt Rule. Or really, I don't even know. It's not like these guys are mobile, but I don't know how fast of a quarterback Matt Rule needs. So I'm really thinking about corner here for the Panthers, but I'm also having a little trouble thinking about who's on the roster right now. So let's see who they've got at corner right now, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty slim pickings. Let's see: Rasul Douglas, Corn Elder, Miles Hartsfield, Dante Jackson, Troy Pride, Stanley Thomas Oliver III. Yeah, they could probably use a corner considering Dante Jackson is like the only one on that. So I guess I'll go corner here because of the me being unknown with how fast Matt Rule wants the quarterback to be. If neither of those guys are fast enough for him, then I think that could keep him away. But I also think I don't really know how fast he wants the quarterback to be. But I'm gonna guess that those guys are too slow, and I'll go Patrick Surtain II from Alabama.
Yeah, I was stuck between quarter and cornerback for the Panthers too. I don't think Surtain is the best
I do.
cornerback prospect.
I
Okay.
do.
I know, and it's your pick, so I'm not gonna say that that's wrong or anything because it's your pick. I don't think he's the best cornerback prospect in the draft. But I could definitely see the Panthers going there.
I don't know.
Uh,
Once again, there's a lot of corners that I like too because like I looked at 7 corners and I liked all of them, so it makes it sound like the last guy is like bad, but I mean, I actually really liked almost 6 of them.
yeah. No, it's a deep corner draft,
It's
and
kind of just preference for how you want to build your team.
yes,
So, I
yeah.
mean, they could go to a different cornerback here as well and just be like, ah, well, we think this guy will fit the scheme better. Like, uh, I just wrote for Patrick Surtain, I wrote 6'2" is great and fast, and he hits hard. So I mean, that's just kind of an
Hmm.
all around player. But there's another guy like J.C. Horn is also a guy who I said big strong corner like Sherman. Um, then I think I mean Asante Samuel Jr. I just said he reads like plays really well, and that like kind of can like know what route is coming, or like if a wide receiver breaks, quickly break with them, like
Hmm.
recover from when they break. So I mean, yeah, it's really up to the team on what corner they want because there are a lot of good guys available.
Yeah, I just didn't have the Panthers going defense for me because I didn't think they would go defense in the first round after going fully defense last draft. But no, I with your logic, I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't. Like I said, the other option I think is quarterback. It's probably quarterback
Hmm.
if it's not
Hmm.
defense. If it's
Yes.
offense, I think it's quarterback.
And with the two guys that are left on the board, for us at this point, I don't think, like you said, Matt Rule's speed thing would fit in. But I could see them taking a guy just because Matt Rule thinks, well, he's faster than Teddy Bridgewater. So,
Yes.
uh, with the Broncos now at 9, uh, they get who I had mocked to them. The In my opinion, the best corner in the draft, and that's Caleb Farley.
Okay, let's see. Where did I have him on my list? Just so I can compare
Yes.
to where you said. Gotta
Hmm.
get back to corner. Yeah, I had him third. Yeah, so I mean,
Yes.
one of the top few guys.
And I think for the top 3 or 4 corners, it's all really close. I just really liked Farley's instincts when the ball was in the air. He seemed like he knew what he was doing with his hands and wouldn't really get in trouble with pass interferences. But I mean, they don't show those on highlight reels, and that's all that I was watching. He was physical, but he was smart with it.
PI.
Eh, Yeah,
The
he was
PI
physical.
highlight reel.
Yeah. I need some PI highlight reels on Caleb Farley. Maybe I'll move him down to 3 on my list too if I see that PI highlight reel.
If I see too much pass interference. That would be
Hmm.
helpful if they just listed how many PIs got called against a corner.
Uh, but he's fast and physical. The Broncos desperately need a corner. They desperately need a corner. So yeah, you can't go wrong with any of the top 3 corners in the draft if you're the Broncos. You need someone.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm just looking at my Cowboys pick right now, trying to figure out what I
Mhm.
want to do here. I'm looking at 2 more positions really quick. Maybe an edge player, maybe a D tackle. But what do I see for names here? Kinda. Oh, jeez, man. Now we gotta think about Jerry and what is his influence on this? Because does he want to go for the really attractive pick or does he want to go for the smart pick? Cause I mean that defense was pretty atrocious last year.
Yes.
We're just
Yes.
gonna be honest. And I don't know. Oh man, I don't. Man, I'm just looking at comparing my list to who other guys have. Uh, the 2 guys that I'm picking between right now are probably Gregory Russo and
Mhm.
Kyle Pitts
Mhm.
because their tight end position is weak.
Mhm. Yes.
And that's a very attractive pick if the Cowboys make that pick. But if they want to make the correct pick, it's probably Gregory Russo. And from what I'm seeing, he's ranked 10th on this. He's my number 2 edge rusher, but my number 1 edge rusher is ranked much lower by everything else I'm seeing. So
Mhm.
I'm guessing they wouldn't go with that guy. So I think it's between Russo or Pitts. And I'm going to say since they went CD last year, I'm guessing they're gonna play it smarter this year and say we don't need to worry about tight end as much and go Russo this year.
Okay. Yeah, I had the Cowboys going defense too. Uh Not at edge. I had them taking the corner.
Well,
To
okay, sorry, keep going.
I had them taking a corner to pair up with Diggs' little brother or Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah,
Uh
I just see enough other names that I feel like
mhm.
Diggs is gonna be on one side of the field for sure, and I feel like they've got enough guys for corners at least that I think they'll be able to find at
Yeah,
least one guy to
they don't.
throw on the other
Yes,
side of the field.
they don't need a first round pick corner there. They
Yeah.
just need someone that can hold down the 2 spot. No, I agree. I agree.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at what's it called? Jeez, what the heck am I doing? Sorry, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Uh,
No, I'm looking at edge now that I actually have
mhm.
it pulled back up because I had it down for a second. I'm just looking at like guys that could potentially be edge players, and they're three, 4 it looks like. So, I mean, like I'm not seeing a name that looks like an outside linebacker. Like Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith are in the middle, and it's like I don't think Sean Lee's coming back, and I don't see another linebacker on this team that I know the name of.
Mhm.
Um, maybe they're a 4-3, but yeah, I don't know. The nice thing about the guy I selected though is that I don't really think that. Man, now that I look at it more, there are a lot of names on this D line though. Did I probably screwed that pick up. Jeez. The one thing that I like about Russo, so that's I'll say that pick's probably going to be completely wrong already, even though I just did it. Um, he's kind of like Jadeveon Clowney, and he was able to play like D tackle, defensive end, and outside linebacker, like all of them successfully. So if he's playing linebacker, I think it makes sense. But if they look at him more like a D line prospect, probably not, because they do have a decent number of names at defensive line. While linebacker, once Sean Lee is gone, and after Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, they don't have much. But oh, tough pick here. Your cornerback selection is probably more likely to be correct. So sorry about that.
No, I really do like Gregory Rousseau as a prospect. I like that he played wide receiver in high school. He was just like picked up as a wide receiver prospect, and then they brought him in. They're like, no, you're gonna play edge for us. But then they end up moving him all around. And versatility is something that you can't discount in the NFL. It's not. I don't think it's as dumb as you're trying to make it out to be. I like the pick.
Okay, well, I mean, I like it. I just don't know. No, that's not the issue. I don't dislike the pick.
You think there's someone better that could go
No,
there?
I just don't think they're actually going to do it. And the point of a mock draft is that you try to get what they're actually going to do. And now that I'm looking at it more, it's probably a lot more likely that they pick a corner. Because it's their choice and not mine.
Yes. Now, getting into that headspace for the next pick, I can picture it now. The camera is on Zach Wilson's face, or they have the zoom camera on Zach Wilson in his house. And they're like, Zach Wilson's fallen, and the Giants fans are clamoring for Zach Wilson to get picked at 11. And I think Zach Wilson gets picked at 11 if he falls this far.
Oh boy, that's miserable. Sorry, Giants fans. Well, they won 2 Super Bowls with Eli, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But do you think I'm wrong with this pick though? Because I didn't have him getting picked here. I had the Panthers taking him because I had 3 quarterbacks going in the top 4. But do you think I'm wrong here? If he falls this far, I think the Giants would be the first team that pounces on. Maybe a team trades up, but we're not doing trades. A team trades up there and tries to take him.
I have no idea. I really don't know what the Giants. I don't think they're done with Daniel Jones quite yet, but I also wouldn't confirm. Like I'm just leaning towards they're not done with him, but like it's not a heavy lean. It's like a 55-45 lean. It's like I don't really know. If you're leaning 55-45 the other way, okay, that's not really that far off from me. So yeah, if you're leaning that way, then I guess that makes sense that they're going to go quarterback here, but he's still my least liked quarterback prospect.
He is 100% my least favorite quarterback.
And then it's kind of sad because you're just replacing crap with crap. I can
see the way I see the Giants thinking about it though is like, well, if we draft him and it gives Daniel the kick in the butt he needs to beat him flat out in camp,
good lord, that's awful.
We get better Daniel Jones, and if that happens, we could just trade him to another team that wanted him. And
you know what I see the real advantage of this pick is? I don't love Zach. Like, to be honest, the way Zach Wilson plays football is awesome. It's great. The only problem is I don't think it's gonna work at all.
Yes.
And I guess the one thing that would be an improvement from Daniel Jones is when you take that read option into the open field for a 90-yard touchdown run, you'll actually get the 90-yard touchdown run instead of the falling over at the 5-yard line, because I think he is more athletic than Daniel Jones is. No, yeah, but I just wrote he's very scrambly. He's got good velocity on a ball if it's low, and he throws some ducks. Really doesn't put all in that great the ball in that great locations most of the time. His feet are awful, but I mean he throws with like plenty of baseball arm angles all the time. Like it was like I swear more of the throws I watched for him than like more than half of them were made just like not normal looking like methods of throwing the football, like the most ridiculous, like what. And it wasn't like he just has a standard issue, like weird sidearm sling thing that he always does. It's just he's always figuring out a different way to throw the ball in some new way. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then the receiver would just make some ridiculous play. And it was like, who's at BYU that's catching these jump balls over 3 defenders? And it's like, yeah, that sure makes Zach Wilson look good. Oh my gosh. It feels like Johnny Manziel, though.
That's exactly what I have written down. Feels like Manziel and is trying too hard to be Mahomes. That's what it felt like. It seems like he just saw Mahomes play. He's like, I'm gonna be like him. And that he's throwing like weird sidearm passes and everything. And like you said, it's not like Philip Rivers, and his natural throwing motion is to just throw the sidearm. He's throwing a sidearm pass because he wants to, because he can throw a ball regularly. His feet like don't move with him when he throws the ball, which is just really weird, especially with how much he scrambles. It just looks like he puts none of his base into his throws.
Very interesting.
And, the thing with him that has me very hesitant is I would 100% be okay with drafting him if he was an athletic freak. If he was,
he's not. I know.
No, but he's not.
Yeah, I know.
He does that stuff where it's like, okay, if like Josh Allen or Justin Herbert, like someone that's like a freak, has a rocket arm or is really fast, like, yeah, okay, we can develop the other stuff because he can get away with it for now. But he is just so mediocre in everything, and he does stuff like he has the strongest arm on the field, and it's so weird.
Oh my gosh, it's very strange. Oh man,
I cannot wait to see what team takes him though.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting, and I'm seeing like if he actually, the thing that I haven't looked at a lot of mock draft stuff because I kind of want to try to have my own opinion about it and not be influenced by too many other people. But the thing I've seen, like, the most from when I've accidentally seen something is that there's a lot of people saying he goes number 2 to the Jets. And that's even funnier than if he goes number 11 to the Giants. That's even funnier. That'll just be ridiculous.
No, I will laugh so hard. I think I will not be able to breathe come draft night if Zach Wilson goes 2.
No, but they're literally, okay, no matter who picks him, it is like,
no, if he goes in the first round, it's hilarious.
He will though. I think he would. I mean, are you looking at like this website I'm using right now has him ranked as the third best player?
He's like the consensus number 3 prospect for everyone.
It's like what?
Yeah.
I'm so confused by this. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have no idea why that is. I can't. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's just weird. It's weird that this is an unpopular opinion too.
Yeah.
Not liking Zach Wilson is an unpopular opinion.
It's literally like watching a worse version of Johnny Manziel and thinking that it's going to work. Like, Johnny didn't work. Why is he going to work? I don't know. Unless it's literally that everybody thinks, oh, wait, he has success without having any, like, mechanics at all. What if we get a coach that actually teaches him some mechanics? Is that it? Is it like...
And the Giants really aren't the place for him to go then for that.
I don't know if the Jets are either.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
You got a defensive coach there. I don't know who's the coordinator, but...
His like best chance is hoping that he
like
falls out of the first round. Falls out of the first round and some team picks him up in the second or late in the first and like the Saints pick him up or something.
Yeah,
that is his only hope, is to get drafted to a team where the coaching staff is great.
Because they'll move him to tight end and pay him $45 million or $35 million a year, right?
Yeah, I can hear Sean Payton now. Hey kid, we love what we saw from you at quarterback, but right now, Taysom's our guy.
Okay, this isn't trying to be a jerk or anything, but I actually legitimately have to ask this question. Because he went to BYU, is he like a lot older than other people?
No, he's not.
23 or something?
Yes.
Something like
22,
that? Yeah.
23.
Okay, I just have to ask. I didn't know. Because I didn't check that.
He's actually 21. He's actually 21.
Holy crap, he's young. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. It's like we got more time to develop him.
Yeah.
It's like he may be completely broken, but... completely broken. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Jeez. I don't want to listen to other people though. Like this doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to convince myself now because everybody else is saying it, but it doesn't
Hmm.
make sense to me. Um now we got to get to this 49ers pick at number 12. I'm looking at two spots. I'm thinking either quarterback or corner. I don't really like anywhere else. I mean, I already took the only other position potentially. Well, I see their team needs on this site says quarterback, corner, edge, offensive guard, safety. I don't like taking a guard this high. If you want a guard, just trade down. Safety, once again, I think that's a really good depth position. Um, I I I don't see any of these names at the edge position that I want to take, but I think these corners, since they are good and you kind of need corners in the league nowadays, I think they'll probably be running quickly. But also, you've already seen a lot of the quarterbacks taken, and you're probably only looking at one more highly rated guy, and it's really just depending on how Kyle Shanahan feels at this point about QBs. But I think Trey Lance is probably a good enough prospect to say goodbye to Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's probably
Hmm.
finally coming off the board here. So I'll say that Trey Lance here to the
Yeah.
Niners.
I love Trey Lance. I absolutely love Trey Lance. He he is what people think Zach Wilson is. Because people think like, oh,
I
we could develop
actually
Zach
agree with
Wilson.
you. I agree with you.
Hmm. And all the film that you saw on Trey Lance, he was 19 in that.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's insane. It's insane
I
that
was
he was
really sorry.
no, it's just insane that he was doing that at that young, and if he just, especially at North Dakota State, you're not getting the best coach. It's the same thing with Josh Allen. I'm not going to compare him to Josh Allen because Josh Allen, I think, is more of a freak than he is. But if he gets some good NFL coaching, he could definitely develop to be like a uh Russ. I don't want to say Russell Wilson type of guy.
I don't think that's I don't think that's the right description for him. I think it's jeez. I can't do a pro comparison on him because I think the pro comparison on him is the guy starting in Philadelphia who's barely started any games.
No, I can see that too.
But he may be better than that guy too. Like
Hmm.
even right out of the gate, he may be better. I just thought I was really interested to see. He's a strong runner, obviously, but
Yes.
very balanced and like he doesn't do anything like extremely well running the ball, but he has like every move in his arsenal, so that really helps him. He can run, he can try to run through a guy, he can stiff arm, he can juke, he can maneuver, all of it. So I mean, I liked that, and then the thing was he had lots of clean pockets, which actually, if he goes to San Francisco, probably wouldn't be a big deal because that play action game would allow for a lot of clean pockets, so that would be the same type of thing. But
Hmm.
just few tight window throws. But I mean, what did he not throw like a single interception the entire time he was in college? So I mean, I don't know how much I should be concerned that he's not throwing in a lot of tight windows if he literally doesn't get intercepted ever.
The only concern is the level of play he had to go up against being at North Dakota State, but
Oh yeah, guys get
I
naked. Guys are
yeah,
naked. Like,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
I pay that. I don't pay that a lot of mind, especially if he gets drafted by the Niners. I could see him starting right away, but I could also see Shanahan. I think Trey Lance is going to be 20 his rookie season. Yeah, he's going to be 20. Uh
Well, if he was well, they only played one game this year, right?
uh he's gonna be 21. His
That
birthday
yeah,
is
that's what I meant.
his birthday's on May 9th, so he's gonna turn 21 after they draft him,
Yeah,
or after whoever drafts him.
after once the games start. Um,
S-
yeah,
So you still have a lot of time to develop him, or at least a year if you want to just sit him behind Jimmy G and develop him. But he's also a guy that could just start right away with a team that the 49ers have too. Uh,
hmm
if he can make it like this, like further down into the draft and go to a team that's
that's good.
like Yeah, that's good and not a team
Dude,
that's
they
in like
could
the
be in the
top
Super Bowl
7,
next
8.
year. If they pick
Yes.
him, they could be back in the Super Bowl next year.
Yes. Oh,
That'd be
I'd
wild.
love to see it because I love Trey Lance. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Uh, all right.
I
With
gotta
the
tell you right now, I'm mad that I don't have that New England pick at 15, but I will get around to that eventually.
okay. Um, 13, the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
Uh, now, okay, so a guy.
Now it's getting more complicated. You gotta look
Yes,
around more.
yes. I think tackle's the way to go here. Keep protecting Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Not really any like. There's Kyle Pitts there. You could take him at tight end. I like Donald Parham. I think
I want to give him a shot, yes, and I think
yes.
we can just get a crappy tight end in free
Hmm.
agency as our in case of emergency guy. But yeah,
Yes.
let's give Parham a chance because that's a really interesting player right there.
Yes. So I think the Chargers are going to take a tackle, and it's going to be the best tackle after Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater. I know you said you didn't, or said to me before we started recording that you didn't watch a lot of the or any of the offensive
Any,
linemen.
any.
So
I'm
I don't know
trusting
if
the
you
lists.
I don't know if you got much to say about that. The dude is a mauler. He gets down and dirty, uh, and the Chargers need to protect Justin Herbert. Not that really him getting blown up was a problem last year, but you don't want him to get blown up. So just
Well,
keep
it's
building on
because
a
he's
solid
so
offensive
mobile.
line.
That's the only reason he
Yes,
didn't get blown up.
yes,
Yeah, beef up that O line. They don't have much for O line right now. So I mean, I can't think of any guys that are on their O line. I mean, we just had Pouncey retire, right? Was he there before? He was there,
yes,
right? Oh
yes,
jeez.
yes,
Now it's really
yes.
gonna show that I don't know enough about the O line. But actually they got some other guys too, and then they lost them too. Like recent years, I feel like they've lost some other kind of guys that had been at least starters there for a little while in recent years. So I think yeah, that makes sense to me. Um, sorry, what did Rashawn Slater?
Yeah, Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater. My bad. Sorry. Thank you. Just getting him off my board to make sure that I don't accidentally try to pick him later. Yeah, I agree with the pick. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
For Minnesota, looking again, kind of like I don't think they have enough corners. I think that's where we're looking for Minnesota right now. Wait a minute though. Ooh, they got two guys that okay, they don't have any names at corners that you like because like they don't like I said, they don't have any names that you recognize at corner. But they picked Gladney high last year and Cameron Dantzler. He played very well last year. So I'm questioning whether or not they'll go corner, but there are a lot of good corners here available, and I don't know what other position they may want to go here. Are they losing someone at safety? Is Anthony Harris or Harrison Smith leaving? I have to ask that because it actually says on here that
Um,
safety is one of their positions of need. Is one of them leaving in free agency? I didn't know that if that's so.
I don't think Harrison Smith is. If anyone is, then yeah, Anthony Harris is a free agent.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Neither did
So
I.
I guess we're learning that right now. I still don't think that they would go this high. What about like linebacker, edge? Am I seeing any names here? Kind of, not really. They probably need help on the D line. They've kind of lost most of the guys on the D line they had besides Daniil Hunter. And I guess I'm gonna say with Gladney and Dantzler and the relatively good depth at corner in this draft as compared to D line, I'm probably gonna look at either someone on the edge, someone on the D line, someone on defensive end maybe. Oh geez, now it's like I gotta figure out if I want to take one of the guys I ranked high or one of the guys that it says is ranked high. You know what I'm thinking? I'm not seeing much for beef in the middle for these guys. Because I'm seeing Daniil Hunter, but like a guy that's really playing in the
Uh,
interior, I'm not
Daniil,
seeing.
Daniil
Oh, Michael
Hunter, I,
Pierce. Michael Pierce.
Daniil Hunter, I believe, has requested a trade
That's
today.
interesting.
I think he did. Yes.
That's interesting, but I'm also noticing that Michael Pierce is here now, so that probably lessens it. So it probably, I forgot about Michael Pierce being there, obviously. So this is probably making it more likely that it's an edge player. With edge players, I'm going to guess that I'm going to go edge here, and I'm going to say it's still not the guy that I like the most, but I'm going to guess that it's Aziz Ojulari. I'm
Okay.
guessing. Took a while to get my guess out, but that's who I'm gonna go with. Aziz Ojulari to the Vikings. Oh, this is so fun doing this live. So it's just like a complete mess. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry, and I know I'm gonna do even worse than you because I'm gonna be even slower to pick. But just trying to get it right.
It's fine. Don't worry. Come draft time, we'll be pros with all these guys, and we'll know exactly where they're going. Especially after free agency, when teams mess up, what this is going to be perfect, but teams are obviously going to mess it up with what they're going to do. So,
Yes.
uh,
What do you
the
think for
Patriot.
New
Oh well,
England?
let's talk about Aziz Ojulari first. I was just
Oh,
about to jump right past
oh,
him. Um, I like him. He has a good get off. He he seems just like a wrecking ball off the edge
So
when I watched it.
he was my third edge guy. I think he was the last guy in my tier of like the top three guys I thought were good, and then the fourth guy is kind of a drop off. So he
Hmm.
was good in that good tier, but I didn't like him as these three as much as these two other guys. But once again, still high, and I just wrote that he's an edge and a finesse player. So I'm guessing I kind of just got that idea that it was a lot of just sprinting up the field and trying to get around the edge as fast as possible. But I'm not very clear on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I had him ranked at 4 for me. So,
Okay, okay, that's fair.
uh, now to New England, the pick that you wish you had.
Hmm.
Uh, I was going to when I made mine, I was going to draft a quarterback here. I don't think they'll do that, especially after the Cam extension. At least in the first round. I think they're going to get a quarterback in the second or third. Uh, I think they strengthen up the secondary if Gilmore leaves, or when Gilmore leaves, because they're going to trade him. And they bring in J.C. Horn.
Okay.
Uh, he to me was the my third favorite, or well, third favorite and third best corner to me after Caleb Farley and Surtain. And him falling this far is a blessing for the Patriots, because I think there are other teams that could use corner help that could definitely draft him before. Well, I think all three of the corners could go bam, 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 all three in a row. Uh, and him getting to the Patriots is great for Belichick. He actually drafts a good player for the first time in like 15 years.
Okay, that's one way to put it. I had so like I said, there's like I basically said like all I thought there were a lot of good corners, but I actually didn't rate him like as high as a lot of other guys at all. I rated him sixth, but I actually thought like all the
Huh?
corners were good. So
Yes.
I mean, except for seven, I thought seven was kind of weird that he
No,
was even.
that's how I thought too.
I
I
thought,
think
but then, no. Now, like I'm saying, there's other guys' names on here that are ranked higher than other guys I ranked on my list. But like, I didn't even look at these guys, so I don't know. The guy that's just like weird to me is Elijah Molden. I don't know why he's ranked so highly.
Mhm.
That's the one. I don't know if you even looked at him. He's just, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh, no, I did not look at Elijah Molden.
No. Well, that's
No,
okay. I mean, I don't know.
did
I,
not did not. For the viewers, if you can't tell, didn't really do a ton of research here. We will be doing that in the future for.
hey,
Uh,
hey, don't sell us short.
yeah.
We tried.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay. So, Cardinals are losing Patrick Peterson,
Hmm.
and I still think that corner is one of the strongest positions in this draft.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
looks like a lot of the guys that the Cardinals will be trusting. I don't even know if these guys are still going to be under contract. I mean, Jonathan Joseph is 36. I doubt they're keeping him. Drake Kirkpatrick, I think he's leaving. So the only guy I mean, Kevin Peterson, Byron Murphy. You've got names here, but are any of them like really, really starting caliber? I don't know. It's a lot of fill-in guys. Robert Alford even. I guess that would probably, just looking at that now, that's probably enough to convince me that they actually wouldn't go corner. I was initially thinking that they would go corner, but maybe not. So how many tackles were rated fairly highly? They have. Is there still some highly rated tackles left? Looks like it. Well, let's look at their tackle situation. Brett Toth, Justin Murray, Joshua Miles, Josh Jones, DJ Humphries, Marcus Gilbert, Kelvin Beachum. And that's if none of these guys are leaving in free agency. But Gilbert and Beachum are in their 30s. Josh Jones was drafted last year fairly high, correct?
I believe so.
I think so. So I think he's playing left tackle, is he not? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing because I'm pretty sure Marcus Gilbert plays right tackle. Not actually sure, though. But even then, they still have a decent number of tackles here. I'm going through their listed positions of, like, weakness, and they've actually got some fairly, like, good name. I mean, another position here that they could be looking for, it says is guard, but J.R. Sweezy, Justin Pugh. Yeah, go ahead.
DJ Humphries is their left tackle, and Kelvin Beachum is their right tackle.
Wow, so I was wrong about both the starters. Yeah, but it's weird that they say that offensive tackle is a need for them, because it actually looks like, just based off the names I see, they've got some good depth. And then at guard is listed as another position that they should be going after, but Justin Pugh, J.R. Sweezy, those are two names I know at least. I'd say maybe center, but there's not really a center that's rated this highly to go. Who else could they go after? So, I mean, maybe. So it looks like we're probably gonna have to go defense for these guys. Now it's just like edge or corner. So I guess, who do we have available for edge players right now is the next question. You know what? I'll do it. I'll say who my favorite edge player is. I'll say that they'll be smart like me, and they'll say that Joseph Osai is the best edge player, and they'll pick him right here.
Okay.
That's what I'll go with. So Joseph Osai, just the thing I loved about him, which this is something that I always fall in love with pass rushers. I hate watching Chase Young because of the fact that his only move is to sprint up the field as fast as possible and get around the edge. I can't believe how much success that has in the NFL. You would think that you would watch him and be like, well, I mean, he's strong, but the only thing, he doesn't use his strength. He just runs up the field and tries to get around people. Well, I mean, I just don't get it, because there's somebody like Joseph Asai who can do that well, but he can also use his power, bull rush, potentially rush inside, and then on top of all that, he was also a really good run defender from what I saw, which I really liked. It's just a lot more balanced as opposed to that just does one thing well, and that's something that I always really like. I always really like when players are good at almost anything you could ask them to do, so that's why I rated Osai highly.
Oh, I'm not as in love with him as you are, but I don't think you expected that.
No,
He
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect you to say. I mean, yeah, it's like he doesn't do anything on that great level where it's like, oh my gosh, look at what he did. But it's just like consistent quality play. So it's like not sexy, but it'll work.
hmm I don't hate the pick though. I think I had him going late in the first.
Okay.
I could see him going here.
All
Uh,
right.
but this gives the Raiders a chance to get my favorite edge rusher in the draft.
Oh yes.
And that's Kwity Paye.
Man, that's weird. I thought, okay, I'm seeing that on here. This is saying that Kwity Paye is an edge player, and that's fair. But I swear when I was watching him,
He
was
played a lot of interior.
yeah. Okay, but talk about him for a little bit so I can get prepared for
Um,
my Dolphins pick.
the dude is a disruptor, and it was awesome on like when I watched film on him, they were moving him inside out. It seemed like almost every other play they were just changing where he was, which is great. And I know uh Gruden is probably just gonna see that and be like, oh man, he's versatile, man. Oh, look at that man. And like Mayock just seems like or at least it appears he's a puppet for Gruden because I like to think Mike Mayock's a smart guy, and then you draft Cliff Farrell with like the fourth overall
Hey.
pick.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, I know your cousin went to preschool with him or whatever, but but like you see stuff like that happen, it's like there's no way
I don't know how
Mike
much arguing there is for this.
yeah uh
Uh,
but Quiddy Pay seems like a guy John Gruden would want. The dude's a disruptor. Get him with Max Crosby. Uh, either have him play interior or have him play edge. It wouldn't really matter. Um, but if you could have him and Max Crosby coming off the edges, oh my goodness, that's a deadly pass rush.
yeah,
Uh,
I think that makes them a lot better in the pass ruch department from
mhm.
where they were. But like I said, I don't even know if he's coming off the edge.
Yeah, well, even if they have him in interior, he seems like a great pass rushing defensive tackle,
yeah.
which is
Yeah. I agree with that.
just rare.
So what is uh, I'm the only thing I'm questioning right now is what is oh, he's listed as edge. Okay, I see. He's listed as edge for this. Got it. I was just trying to figure out where Jalen Phillips was listed as because once again, website I used said he was on the D line, and I was like, it's kind of a defensive end, so I would think that would be listed as edge, but man, confusing. Okay, well, I think you're good, right? I can
Yes,
go
yes,
to
I'm
my
good.
Dolphins pick.
Yes.
I liked what I saw from Phillips, Jalen Phillips. The thing is that now, besides him, for the edge players, I really didn't like the other ones. So that doesn't mean that somebody else couldn't go to him. But I just don't know what the Dolphins are going to be thinking here. So I'm going between him or one other position, the running back position, which isn't usually which people are starting to really not like. However, the Dolphins are one of the few teams that it literally feels like just have awful running backs. So it's like this top guy in the running back department may actually be worth it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm leaning towards that they actually will go for that running back because they've had such a weak run game to help them out. And I'm going to go with Travis Etienne here for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were going to pick a running back last year, and when I made my mock draft for the draft last year, I had them picking a running back late at the end of the first round. They never did, and their running backs still kind of stunk last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think getting Travis Etienne, I think basically from what I saw, I feel like his best comparison is really like Alvin Kamara because his balance is insane. Is really not, like I said, with Trey Lance, obviously a quarterback, not a running back. He's balanced in what he does, like not favoring any moves over another, but his actual foot, keeping himself up balance is insane. It's exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Kamara is absolutely amazing at. Because it's like if you get one arm on him or even you wrap him, but there is any sliver of a hole in your wrap and your wrap isn't perfectly around his legs as tightly as you can possibly be squeezing, it feels like he's gonna squeeze out of that situation and he's gonna make you pay. And he seems like a really quality back, especially just because I really think it'll be like having a second version of Alvin Kamara in the league, and I think that it would make a lot of sense for the Dolphins to get him.
The Alvin Kamara thing is hilarious because I watched an interview that Stefan Diggs was in the other day, and they were asking about draft prospects, and they asked about Travis Etienne. He said that dude is Alvin Kamara. So,
I mean,
uh,
it
it's
is.
no, it is obvious. It is obvious when you watch him play that he plays just like Kamara.
I mean, I haven't looked at anything else that anybody else has said. Like you just randomly saying that, I haven't heard anybody else say
No,
that.
and
But I'm really
that
not.
wasn't even intentional. Me finding that out. I just wanted to see what Diggs said in an interview, and I hear that. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's just yeah. He looks just playing. He plays just like it. That's all you can say.
Hmm.
Washington
Uh,
football team.
the football team get a nice one to fall right in their lap. Kyle Pitts falling this far for them, just perfect, absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
I don't.
that would be like a dream for them. They
Hmm.
doesn't even make any. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, why is he still here?
Yeah, but it's really. I think the only spot you could really see him going to, with the picks that we've gone by, is maybe the Cardinals. Goes to the Cardinals, but I know that you like Dan Arnold and all those guys, so I understand why you didn't pick him to go to the Cardinals.
No,
But
it's actually because I'm trying to use the like draft board thing, so I'm not looking through an entire team's roster. And
mm,
if I just think about it, I would probably think that the Cardinals need a tight end, but I'm looking at this stupid thing on the screen and it doesn't have tight end as a position that's listed for needs. But yeah, that would probably be obvious. If he gets past the Cardinals, that would kind of be weird. Maybe I should
uh,
just be thinking for myself a little more.
yeah.
Sorry.
Uh, but Kyle Pitts, he's kind of an athletic freak at the position.
Yes.
Um, he can easily cement himself into the top four conversation for the tight ends. Probably battle Gesicki for that four spot in his rookie season, and give Heineke another weapon after Scary Terry, and probably a receiver that they'll draft in the second round. It the football team looks scary.
We're the highest people on him, I gotta think. I don't know.
Oh
I mean,
yes,
don't listen to a ton of other people talk about football, but I mean, we're ridiculously high on the football team.
yes.
Like we're like
Well, if they get Kyle Pitts,
we're
I am
oh
going to
my
be very
gosh,
high on them.
yeah. Get a second running back in the later rounds or something. Well, actually, I don't know. I was pretty disappointed with I watched Etienne and then Najee Harris, and then I watched the
Yeah.
two guys from North Carolina who are like the next two guys rated at running back, and I was pretty disappointed with them. So maybe I shouldn't be as high on getting a late round running back as I think I should, because so they're the next two best guys. Wow, drop off, scary. Uh,
Uh,
oh man,
who do you got going to Chicago at 20?
I think. Let me look at tackle. Let me just make sure that I don't want to give them a tackle. I stopped looking at team needs. I'm actually just thinking for myself now.
Hmm.
Okay. This team has a really solid defense. Right? This team, no doubt.
Yes.
No doubt has a really solid defense. So, let's just immediately say, okay, we want to go offense because we need to score more points. And Kyle Pitts is gone. And I like this Fryermuth guy. Sorry, they're not going to say his name right, but I like him. But I don't think he's going this high. Um, as for the receiver position, they've got guys there. They don't need to worry about that yet. They've even got guys at the running back position that they can figure stuff out with for now. I think that it's time for my favorite quarterback to come off the board, and I think Mac Jones will be a Chicago Bear.
Mac Jones is your favorite quarterback?
Yes, he is. I think.
Interesting.
I think.
Interesting. I didn't take you for a Mac Jones kind of guy.
Oh, I love it. I could not believe. You send me all these memes of him shirtless, and yeah, whatever. I didn't really care about him then, but watching him on the field, he's got the arm to do anything. And what I loved about him is the fact that it seemed so obvious to me that Bama literally was like, dude, this guy's got a gun on him. Let's literally only run vertical pass concepts. Like, that's it. We're exclusively gonna run, like, not. And this was the thing I was thinking. It's like Cole McDonald had an arm going long, that thing. I was thinking that while I'm watching him, because I'm like, Mac Jones had an arm going long. But it's the exact opposite, because it was literally just Cole McDonald last year, where you would watch him and it would literally be, okay, everybody's running four verts, like everybody's just running a streak or a go route or whatever. In this situation, they're doing the Hawaii thing that Cole McDonald had going, where it's literally everybody's going vertical, but it's actual pass concepts. So it's like post, wheel, like deep post on the other side of the field, then like a, what is that? Like an out and up in the slot. Like every play felt like they were just going long. And he has the arm to do it. And the other thing that I loved about him was the fact that he feels like a young Ben Roethlisberger, with the fact that he really, I don't know, it just feels like young Ben, but it feels like a better version of young Ben Roethlisberger. And because I really don't think he's going to be scrambling much until he needs to. And the only thing I fear here, like I said, I love Mac Jones. He's actually my favorite quarterback prospect so far that I've seen. But my fear here is that like Matt Nagy, the coach, right? I'm kind of probably like, if I can have the choice between a pocket passer and a guy who's on the move, I would usually choose a guy who moves more often. That's just something I like. And I don't know if Matt Nagy likes that more, but I like Mac Jones so much that if Matt Nagy, like me, like sells himself on Mac Jones enough, that I would be willing to go away from like the scrambling or more uses his legs more often quarterback in favor of the guy who doesn't move as often, just because I actually think he's that talented.
Okay, you were way higher on Mac Jones than I thought you would be, and higher on him than I am.
Oh,
I
I
do.
was so excited when I was watching. I was like, "What? This is crazy. This is not what I was expecting." I thought he, with how goofy you were talking about him, and like I said, I don't watch anybody else,
Well,
but
did
how
you?
goofy.
They didn't show clips of him running in those highlights, though, did they?
No, didn't.
Ah,
Why? Does he run?
the when he does run, at least in the two playoff games that I saw him play in, because I don't watch a lot of college football. He My two memories that just stuck in my head, both games he took off twice, and right before he slid, he jumped up in the air and then slid.
Listen,
Like, he jumped up in the air and midair went to a baseball slide and then just fell down on the ground like in a baseball slide.
listen. I just called him a pocket passer, so the fact that he doesn't know how to slide isn't that big of a deal.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
At least he feels like a modern day pocket passer.
We've talked about it before, how well, Breeze has retired, and we said once Rivers retired, now Breeze is retired. Once Brady retires, there's not really going to be a pocket passing quarterback left. Yeah,
Roethlisberger is my direct comparison for Mac Jones,
Yes.
so I guess I don't know. No, yeah, I'm very excited for him though.
It's
And
really weird to see a guy like Mac Jones being ranked this high.
that's why I was saying I wish I had the Patriots pick, because I would have picked him in an instant at the Patriots, even though they re-signed Newton. And if he goes to somewhere like Chicago, where it's like the rest of the team is already really good, I like him even more. But like, if I had like a top 5 pick and I needed a quarterback, I would probably be the guy. I would probably be like the guy in like the year Daniel Jones went top 5 to the Giants when it made like no sense. Like, I would actually consider drafting Mac Jones if like I couldn't trade back or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least even be thinking about picking him in the top 5 because I'm scared. Like, I don't know what other people value him as, but I value him highly, so it's worth it to me to pick him here.
Yeah. I uh I don't think the Patriots, like, I understand what you mean by if you had the Patriots pick, you would have taken him. I don't think the Patriots will waste a pick on a quarterback in the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Well, especially there are other. I know you didn't watch film on them, so you don't know about them. But guys like Kellen Mond, Kyle Trask, and Sam Ellinger, that are going to be available in the second and third rounds. Uh, I Belichick's going to pounce on those guys. Um,
Really? Second round? Okay, if you
mhm.
say so.
Especially after paying Cam that much money, I'd see him just sitting that guy that he drafts. Maybe not Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond seems like a guy that could start right away. Maybe give Cam a run for his money at the starter spot, but
All
uh
right.
that's what my thoughts on the Patriots
Well,
thing
I
are.
mean,
All
I
right.
will get to see more quarterbacks
Yeah.
eventually, and you know what'll happen then is I'll find a guy in the 6th round that I like more than any of the first round prospects, and I'll be like, ah, this is the future, and then he won't even make a roster, and it'll
This
be
is the
like,
future,
all right,
and then he'll be on Seattle's practice squad.
and yeah, no, not even like he won't even make a practice squad.
Uh all right. Where are we now? We're
You're
on to
on
Indy.
the Colts, yes.
On to Indy. Okay, so Indy is going to, again, you didn't watch any offensive linemen play or tape, so
Whoa.
don't really know what you're gonna say about these guys. But my second favorite tackle prospect, and after Anthony Costanzo retired, the Colts are gonna need a guy to replace him. I think the perfect guy to do that is Elijah Vera Tucker. Uh, he just seems like, well, the Colts O line is phenomenal, and they add another guy that's like Elijah Vera Tucker. He just doesn't let spin moves work on him. It's hilarious because guys will spin on him and he just keeps his hands there and they just spin right back into him. It was the funniest thing I seen because it was like every other uh like little highlight that I saw of him, he just wasn't letting guys spin on him, which I thought was hilarious.
All right.
Um, I don't know about chops or swim moves or anything like that. They didn't show anyone getting past him, of course, but he's very technically sound. I heard guys say in highlights that he rarely ever holds, which is great. You want that in a tackle, especially if he's going to be playing left tackle. Um, yeah, I know that you don't have much that you can offer this conversation, so
Wow.
I guess that's all
Okay.
I gotta say.
I guess
Well,
that's
no, do you have anything you can offer to this?
well, no, but you're making an assumption that's unfair.
Oh, so, well, sorry.
Um, yeah, okay. Well, for once, I actually think I'm prepared when you finish talking. It's weird, is it not? Yeah, I think. Oh, jeez, though. Okay, I know what position I'm picking. I just don't know if I'm gonna pick the guy that other people like more or I like more. Okay, so I like Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa,
Hmm.
but he's not my favorite linebacker. My
Okay.
favorite linebacker is that I watched is Zaven Collins.
Okay.
But who do we actually think they're gonna pick here? I'm pretty sure other people say that Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa is higher, so I'm guessing that they would probably pick him instead of Zaven Collins. So I'll go with him.
All right. Uh, yeah, he's one of the more solid guys. I think for my linebacker rankings, I had him at 3. Yeah. I had Micah Parsons at 1, uh Jabril Cox at 2, and then him at 3.
Okay, well, yeah, sorry, but I didn't have Jabril in my list because Jabril was ranked like number 90 in the website I used. So once again,
Mm.
sorry, just sorry about
Uh,
that. But
it's-
no, you want to hear what I wrote about Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa, and then I wrote
yeah,
about
sure.
Zaven Collins. I told you this was the end, so I was just like barely writing anything for descriptions of these guys.
Hmm.
Owosu Koromoa, I wrote Deion Jones. Okay.
Hmm.
Then for Zaven Collins, I wrote better Deion Jones. Yeah,
No, makes
very
sense.
great descriptions, right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Pittsburgh is my next pick. Sorry, just getting ahead of myself. Just taking a
So
peek.
the
Just
Jets. Hmm. Okay, with the Jets here, what do I think the Jets are gonna do? This is the first time I'm stumped. Huh.
well,
Well,
don't worry. Take your time. Talk it through us with us so that we know what's
well,
going on in your mind.
okay. For the Jets in my mock draft that I had it written, I had them taking a receiver here.
All right.
But with all the guys that are still on the board that I thought would be gone at this point, I see they could get bookend tackle here and get the right tackle to
Wait, let's just look at who they took before. Just Justin Fields. Okay. Just
Justin Fields.
just had to
Yes.
remind myself to make sure that we're not
So
like double crossing them.
so they can get bookend tackles here. Get a guy opposite Mekhi Becton. Uh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do it. They're gonna get my third favorite guy in Christian Darrisaw to be their right tackle. Uh, he, again, I don't. There's not really much to say about offensive line. I'm just gonna be repeating myself because I'm the only one that's drafted offensive linemen for teams so far.
Oh, well,
Eh,
I was literally about to for Pittsburgh, and now you're making my pick a lot harder.
Sorry, uh, but I don't. There's not really much you can say about offensive linemen. Yeah, he blocks good. He's got quick hands.
Well,
He's
I mean that's fair. You could
yeah.
just leave it at that.
I just it's one of those hard things where it's not something that I saw with Elijah Vera Tucker where I see multiple guys try to spin move on him and it just doesn't work. And I thought that was hilarious. Christian Darrisaw, he was good. I understand why he's a top tackle prospect in the draft.
Okay. Tell me. Okay, I wasn't looking at it, but I looked at it again just to see what it would say this time. Why would receiver be a position that the Steelers would be looking for? I realize Juju is,
Juju's leaving.
but that doesn't matter because you still have Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and Chase Claypool. So how would you be like priority draft new receiver? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
I don't know. But
I
you took
think
you took my tackle, so
sorry.
I don't know though. It says these other tackles are ranked highly. I'm if these this the defense is obviously the strong suit on this team once again. So I think since they're going back in for the idea of we're gonna try to get the most out of Big Ben we can for one last season, or at least that's what it seems they're doing. And we have basically taken every quarterback they could possibly want, because I
Hmm.
doubt any other quarterback is going in the first round, at least based off where draft projections would be. It seems like it would be a waste of a pick.
Yes.
The two areas you got left then are I'm looking at a tackle because the only tackle I see is Alejandro Villanueva, and I see that I'm guessing he's playing. I think he's playing left tackle if I'm remembering correctly. So they
I
may go
think he's
for.
also a free agent.
Oh, geez, then they maybe really want to tackle. Well, the other option I had that they may do. I also don't know about Eric Ebron though. Is Eric Ebron still going to be on the team next season?
I believe so.
Okay, well if he's still on the team, then the two spots that I would think that they would consider are running back and tackle. Now, the issue here is strangely enough, I actually think that with what I said before about the running backs actually potentially being kind of limited in this draft for who you could pick, I look at tackles, and there's actually still a lot of fairly highly rated tackles. So it may just be like the Steelers are like, hey, one of the two top running backs was taken, but there's still a lot of tackles left, so we may be able to still get one next round. They maybe just have to go running back here purely because they don't. One, their position of running back is weak for their team, and then two, they're scared that there's not gonna. Najee Harris is the only guy that I really see that's even close to like good for this level. Like if you want to go down a bunch of rounds and get a much worse player, okay, but I think you can go running back here and then still pick up a fairly good tackle next round. So I guess that's what I'll do.
Okay. Uh,
Jaguars again. Who did the
yes.
Jaguars take last time? Trevor Lawrence. I should have known that.
Uh, yes, this is a tough part for me with the Jags because when I made this was but I made my mock draft and I didn't really realize that they like re-signed a well they re-signed Andrew Norwell today and they tagged their other tackle and I had them drafting a tackle.
All right.
So,
Well, that complicates things.
mhm. So I think they're gonna. I don't really know another spot that they're super weak at because I would love to see them go wide receiver, but they definitely don't need to do that. Um,
Yeah, they're
so
deep at receiver.
I think they're just gonna go with the best guard that's available in the draft in Wyatt Davis.
All right. Seems fair to me. I mean,
Hmm.
even though that team was like not very competitive last year, it's weird how many guys there are where it's like I don't really know if you can draft this position because like you look at receiver and it's like yeah, there's kind of a lot of guys there that are talented. We probably shouldn't draft a receiver. And then it's like last year we got an undrafted running back who played really well. We can't go running back. It's like the tight end, the,
Hmm.
the best tight end was already taken. We can't go there. So yeah, it's kind of a tough pick. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think
The
I
the
think
reach for
guard
the
makes
reach for
sense.
tight end for Pat Fairmouth wouldn't be that bad,
Yeah,
but
that's one that I
with
was
with the
considering.
guys
But
that are still available, I can't really see it happening.
yeah, I don't know. Once again, this could be another trade back opportunity. Like I'd be in, if I was running a team, I'd probably be in favor of trading back a lot more often than teams do. I'd probably
Hmm.
trade back a lot because if
Yeah,
it's like I like this guy, but I mean he's not going to be going for a while.
yeah.
But I am looking at the roster for the Browns now, and I am just looking to see they had their offense is probably their strong suit. I mean, they had one of the best lines in the NFL, so we wouldn't think they would go for that. Baker Mayfield's going to be their starting quarterback still. We've still got Hub, wait, Chubb, and Kareem Hunt. I
Hmm.
don't know why. Whenever I say their names, I can't like. I have to think about it. And then the receiving core: Odell Jarvis, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm not really seeing an issue basically at all on offense. Um, I'm questioning. I really like their safeties are good. Don't need a safety. I'm looking at linebacker or corner. I think their corner position is deeper. It was just bad luck with injury last year. So we're gonna hope that their corners stay healthy this year, right? Because like 2 years in a row, hopefully that doesn't happen. So I guess since my prediction of Matt Milano going to them was wrong, because the Bills got him, which is much better for me.
Yes.
Happy about that.
Woo.
But
Woohoo.
but since that was wrong, I'll give them a different linebacker, and I'll give them my favorite linebacker in the draft, in Zaven Collins. Now I'll give him to them.
Alrighty. Now we're on to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Baltimore. I think this is a pretty easy one. For the Ravens. You need safety help, and I maybe they go receiver here. I could see them going receiver too. All right, hold on. I gotta think about this now. Then,
Think it,
uh,
talk it out. You have time.
in my little list that I had here of the order that I wanted things to go in my perfect world,
Yes.
uh, I had like two more wide receivers than we already had go in front of the Ravens, but now if they're not there, I think they could get my favorite guy outside of the top three. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who?
you know what? Hmm?
Who?
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 I think we're gonna pull the trigger on the Ravens getting a receiver here.
Really?
Uh
I think I like this guy. Well, actually, I don't know. Tell me who it is. I shouldn't say anything.
uh I think the Ravens are gonna take Rashad Bateman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't care about him. Sorry.
Who do you like, Darius Tony?
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
fun. Get a little. He's like Tyreek Hill,
Oh no, he is.
which is my fear. I'm seeing 31 right there. Kansas City. If Kansas City picks him, that's gonna be a nightmare. And you've
uh
got that pick, so I mean, if he gets to Kansas City and then Kansas City is like, yeah, there's a lot of tackles available, but you know what would be hilarious if we just said, well,
yeah.
we can win like 17 games a year and not the Super Bowl. It's like we don't really care about winning the Super Bowl. We just want to win like 17 games a year. And they just said, screw it, Kadarius Toney. Oh my gosh, that would be a nightmare for so many teams that play them. I mean, if you got a
Who
pass
need,
rush, it wouldn't be. But if you don't have a pass rush and you play them, and then they have all that speed, it would be like, good lord.
who needs to rearm when you can reload?
Exactly. Oh man.
Uh,
Oh, what do you think of what's his face? Rashad Bateman.
oh, Rashad Bateman. Uh, but I do like Kadarius Toney. He's fast and that like it's hard not to love fast guys. Uh, but Rashad Bateman was just a star on that Minnesota team, and that Minnesota team wasn't really too fantastic. I know they were really good last season, or 2 seasons ago, I should say. 2 seasons ago, they were great. Uh, uh, but he's like the shining star on that team. He has the potential to be a number one receiver, and that's what the Ravens need. They need a number one receiver. They need someone that is not Hollywood Brown to be their number one guy or Willie Snead. Uh, they get that with Rashad Bateman, at least I believe. Um, Kadarius Toney, see those were the two guys obviously going through my head there. But I just don't think the Ravens really need to roll the dice on, oh yeah, let's get another fast guy to play wide receiver and then just have him not pan out to be like anything.
Oh
And it's
well.
just, oh yeah, he's a fast guy that we can run jet sweeps with.
Well, I mean, that makes sense and all, but I mean, come on, would it not be fun?
No, it would be so much fun. I would not hate it if the Ravens actually did that, but I think it makes more sense for them to not do that.
Probably. Probably makes sense for them to not do that. That's so sad though. Think I know. Think I know who I'm gonna go with here. For the
Okay.
Saints, I think we're gonna go Christian Barmore from Alabama for D tackle.
Nice. Yes, he fell a lot. I really, really like him.
Yeah, and I really think that that's kind of the only. It's like perfect for them because you look at their roster and it's like there's not many holes here, and
Hmm.
even though they have no cap space at all, at least they have a solid roster since they have no cap space.
Yes.
There's tight end, but I'd like to give Adam Troutman another chance. Since he's a rookie, and then on top of that, if Taysom isn't the starting quarterback and Jameis is the starting quarterback, then Taysom will also get at snaps at the quote unquote tight end position. So I'm gonna have those two like filling out that tight end spot that's potentially questionable. Emmanuel Sanders is leaving, so this was the only other thing I thought is maybe they say that the guys they have on roster for receiver aren't enough, and then they maybe go Kadarius Toney here. But I mean, if freaking what's his face Christian Barmore is still on the board at this point, and
Hmm.
the other option is Kadarius Toney, I think it's like I think almost every team, if they had to pick between them, would probably say Christian Barmore.
Yes. Yes.
But
Uh,
yeah, I just said, what did I say? Compared to, I was because when I was doing these guys, I was comparing them to other people. So as compared to he's my highest ranked D tackle, if that's what you want to call it, but with
yeah. If
D
Quiddy
line
Payne's,
and
yeah.
D edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Pay, yes, I had Pay on there. I did have Pay on my D line, so I had him lower than
Yeah.
actually than Barmore and on Anwu Zurike. But I was writing Barmore as a comparison to Onwuzurike, who's Onwuzurike is like just like your kind of old school standard issue D tackle, and that he's just clogging up the middle, which is fine if that's what you want. But Christian Barmore is kind of more like an Aaron Donald type. Like he's not just as big and huge in the middle, but I thought he was great at pass rushing, and he had a lot of combos. Just like every pass rusher I like, they have to be able to use more than one move for me to like them. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's high for me. So that's not a good thing, because if they're high for me, that means they're doing a lot of stuff and they're not just figuring out how to do one thing like run past a tackle.
Hey,
which is what gets
what
gets you paid the big bucks.
Yes, that gets you drafted number 2 overall. Okay, moving on to Green Bay. Green Bay, this is an easy decision for them. They need more help at receiver. They need to give Rodgers a weapon so he does not lose his mind, and that guy is Kadarius Toney. That's a good compliment guy to Devontae Adams, I believe.
Yeah, that probably. Yeah, I'm not. What's funny is I'm just trying to start thinking about my pick before you even do yours, just so I'm trying to be prepared. And it's very hard to do that, but like not paying attention and then you saying Green Bay and then you saying weapon, like yes, it makes perfect sense. They obviously he's like Tyreek Hill, and getting him with a quarterback like Rodgers would be awesome. Not for long though, because we don't know how long Rodgers will be still playing at the top of his game, but hopefully it's a little while, and hopefully we can see some Kadarius Toney action.
Yeah, and even if they move on from Rodgers after the season or after 2 seasons, then you bring in Jordan Love, and Jordan Love has well, we don't know if Devontae Adams is going to be there. I don't know what his contract looks like, but you have another guy, 5th-year option wide receiver that you could pair up with Jordan Love, and they can form that connection early in training camps and all that by working drills together. So, you kind of get best of both worlds with a wide receiver pick late in the first with Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. All right. I've got
now a lot of pressure's on you because I'm going to judge you really hard because this is our team.
Well, the first thing is obviously I'm not going to pick anybody that's logical anymore. I'm going to pick the guys I like because it's the team that I like. So I'm going to pick the guys that I would want if this is who we were choosing from. There's still a lot of corners on the board and there's still a lot of safeties on the board, but secondary's always decent. We're not going to worry too much about that. I think we're looking at either D-line or our one guy that we still like at tight end. Now, I'm trying to think what would probably happen. What's more likely? I like the tight end, but what's probably more likely to happen is that we go D-line. Now, I'm just thinking, do I want to go Jalen Phillips, who actually is listed as edge here, or do I want to go Levi Onwuzurike? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go Jalen Phillips because I can pronounce his name, but actually I actually like him more. I'm going to go Jalen Phillips, and once again, of course, listed under his name, I wrote many moves, so that's the reason I like him. And he's not big. This was the guy I was like really surprised with. He's not that big of a guy, but he still like throws people. Like he's still strong. He's not that big, but he's strong, and he'd be a nice defensive end to finally get like. Hopefully somebody who's young and productive at the defensive end position or just on the D-line at all, because we haven't seen it from Ed Oliver, Harrison Phillips. AJ Epinesa barely had any opportunity to do it last year, but I have to say that he didn't do anything because of the limited opportunity. I'm not going to blame it on him being bad. It's just we have to hope that one of these guys that we pick fairly highly on the D-line will eventually pan out into something more than just like below average.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because it's getting kind of annoying. And I'm gonna pick Jalen Phillips, but if we also went Levi Onwuzurike, I wouldn't be mad either. Or, like I said, the other option was the tight end. But uh, I think the D line probably makes more sense.
Yeah. Um, the Chiefs coming up without Kadarius Toney on the board anymore. Andy Reid is obviously sad, but they just cut both their tackles, and they did sign Joe Tooney today, so they
Ooh,
got a guard, so that's
nice.
cool. But they don't have any tackles, so I think they're gonna get uh he he isn't ranked the highest for me, but he is my favorite out of all the tackles, and that's Tevin Jenkins. I think he's gonna be one of the studs that come out. This is a deep O line draft. This dude's gonna be a stud. Just the way he looks. If you get a moment, look up a picture of Tevin Jenkins because this dude is a stud. The meme of uh this is what peak male performance looks like. That is him.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
Uh, yeah, the Chiefs need to go O line. I know that Kansas City fans aren't gonna like it because it's not a sexy pick, and it seems like they've the past couple of years have been getting sexy picks
And you
for
said,
the first round.
what did you say his name was? Jenkins?
Tevin Jenkins,
Gotcha.
but the I think Andy Reid needs to take a like a 1 year draft break from being or taking the sexy guy there and just take a guy that's gonna do work for you in the trenches.
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't talking much. Once again, just an alignment that I don't know enough about. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll apologize for
It's
that. But
it's
also,
fine.
I'm just
It's
trying to
fine.
figure out what this last pick for the Buccaneers is going to be. Um, I don't know. You think Tom Brady is mad at any of the O linemen? That I mean, that's really what I'm trying to figure out right now.
I have no idea.
I don't think he is, and I don't think that they can be. I don't think that they can say that they're upset with anything on the D line either. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't think they're gonna go anything D line. They kind of just had luck with whoever they threw at the running back position, which is one of the places that maybe you could say, well, they're gonna lose guys or stuff. But also the other thing to think about here is the fact that I said there's no other running back worth taking this high. So I think we're looking at a secondary selection for them. Now, what would be fun? There's two options here. The first thing I'm thinking is that I I said that I like Jamel Dean and who was the other? Was it Carlton Davis that was the other corner that I thought was playing really well? So I think those were the two guys that I thought were playing really well. Um, but then also the safety position opposite Antoine Winfield is not really anybody that I'm excited about, no matter who it is. Yeah,
Hmm.
Jordan Whitefield is only 23 years old, but he's played in the league for 3 years. He came in when he was 20. Jeez, I didn't know that. Ah, well, okay. Just because I see that now, we're gonna give him more time to develop. All right. So we're gonna give
Yeah.
the nod to the corner position. Now it's just up to what corner I'm picking here. Now, I think I have to do this. Okay. I think that probably a decent number of people, not me, but a decent number of people are gonna have Afitu Melifonwu. Good lord, saying these names for the first time is a task when you haven't done it before. I think a decent number of people, corner from Syracuse, are gonna have him ranked higher than Asante Samuel Jr. But with the fact that they just drafted Antoine Winfield Jr. last year, and he had that much success for them, they have to go to Asante Samuel Jr., who also went to college in state at Florida State, and it's going to be a good pick for them. And they're going to have two kids in the secondary with their father's names balling out.
Yeah. Asante Samuel Jr. was he was my fourth rated corner. I do like him. I do think the gap from the first three to four is a little bit there. There's a little bit of gap from three to four.
Well, he's
Uh,
my second, so I don't think so.
oh, okay. So, well, we'll both have more time to look at films, so I think you may change your mind.
No,
Uh,
no. He's
I,
a
I do.
son of a former player. There is
Oh
no
no,
changing
I
my
know
mind.
that immediately makes him good. I know. Uh, and the Bucks going there is fantastic. I love that landing spot for him. Uh, yeah, it's kind of up in the air if they draft an O lineman or not. I don't think Brady hated the O line play,
Oh,
so
I don't think so either. I think it was
yeah.
reasonable enough that they wouldn't go first round again.
Mhm. I could definitely see that as a possibility. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't believe we did this in an hour and 45 minutes.
an hour 45. Jeez.
Did you think that was a long time or not? Because
Oh, I think that's pretty efficient.
I was worried that this was going to take much longer since we literally
Oh,
had none of it planned.
didn't even get close to our record.
No, not even. No, we're like at like half the time. Oh, wonderful. Well, we did it. Um, are,
Yeah.
are we done or something?
Uh, I think we are. Can we roll that outro?
I didn't make it.
Mm,
Maybe I'll
yeah.
get around to it. Never.
Yeah. I think we should just cut it here then.